Good morning, everyone. Hello. Buenos días. Welcome to the second session of the Circular Economy track. We'll be talking about actions in this session, and there will be catalyzers speaking about the last generation tools. But just first remember, maybe based on the previous session, why circular economy? Well, each of us has a certain backpack of material use, material footprint. And if you're a European, how many Europeans are here? So you have 33 tons of material use per year. And how many trucks will that be? Just shoot. How many? 5. Well, 10 trucks of material that you're producing every year. And obviously, that is not really sustainable, and it's not helpful for all the global environmental challenges we are facing. And according to the scientists working on resource efficiency, the resource efficiency panel of UNEP, we have to reduce this by 80%. And just by doing some correction of the edges or incremental change, it's not possible. We need radical change. We need new types of business models. And exactly this is what circular economy can provide us with. For example, take your household goods, like all the machines that you were using this morning and all the way that you have during your lifetime. They can be maybe 50% more efficient if you just use sharing, if you use recycling, reuse, and so on. And that's exactly the transition we are heading for. And how to do this transition, the catalyzers of this transition. Now I would like to introduce them to you for this session. And first of all, my name is Burcu Tunçer. I'm from UNEP Center here in Barcelona, working on sustainable consumption production. We work in the Mediterranean region and work actually with some of the panelists here. So I'm very happy to tap into their experience and hope you can also enjoy the session and, well, join the dialogue. To join the dialogue, please remember, maybe you used it already from last year, there's an Ask and Vote app that you have. You can reach it at www.smartcityexpo.com/ask and vote. Exactly there. So you can post your questions already, and I'll be picking them up as soon as I have my pad with me. So who do we have here? I would like to kindly invite our very distinguished speakers. First of all, Eduardo Fernandez Jimenez from Urbacer. Probably you know the famous company in waste management. Please have a seat, Eduardo. Perhaps over there. Thank you. Second speaker, the only lady in the panel, Elena Ruiz from Foretica, which is a business membership organization. Welcome, Elena. Then my colleague, Jordi Oliver Sola, who is coming from Inedit. And Inedit is a spin-off UAB. Welcome, Jordi. Then we have our colleague, Eduardo Arcons Comellas. Eduard brings a lot of experience from Berguedà County, yes, here in Catalonia. And finally, we have a guest, international guest, Oleg Sadov. Welcome, Oleg. Oleg brings really fresh ideas, right? Please have a seat. Oleg is from ITMO University, and he's working on very exciting new technology, blockchains, and Internet of Things. Right, let's start. What I would like to do is now to have a brief presentation of our arguments, and then we will have a short dialogue also with the joining our audience. The first presentation from Eduardo. Eduardo, tell us what Urbana is doing in terms of waste management. What kind of new solutions you're looking at, especially to address the huge footprint that we are having? Please go to the, yes, thank you.
Thank you. I am very pleased to stay here for the opportunity of Urban Company to explain one of some successful case of circular economy concepts. My presentation is structured in 3 parts. The first is we present who we are. The second, some business case or some example of the good practice in waste management. And at the end, we have some conclusion of some reflection for all of us. At the beginning, I put this slide because we are a global company. We are in more than 21 countries, and we have many different kinds of clients. I put this slide not for show you if we are a very big company or it's a multinational. No, the idea that I want to present here is that for obtain a good results in circular economy concept or in a smart city, we need to consider that each client of us have different requirements and different needs, and we need to provide for them a good solution for his problem. This is the idea that we to show here. We divide our company in 2 different business lines on different structures. One is in urban services. We collect and we collect screen clean and waste collections. Also, we have some green areas maintained. Also, we have integrated waste treatment, and also we have new mobility solutions. This is the different trademark of our company. The idea of this is that what we can do in this part of the waste management sector is the urban services. I show here one of our platforms. The name is Smartphone, and I invite you, if you want to know more about that, you can visit in our stand, in our bus here in the Small City Congress. And we are integrated different technology that all of these techniques, it's on the market. We are not developer of these technologies. We have buy this solution and we give this solution for our client. We use different information technology system. We have different sensors. We have different communication, software, hardware, and so on, etc. Why I made this is because with this platform, we optimize our service and we reduce the cost and we reduce, of course, the environmental aspect of our activities. Here you can see different slides, different reports, and different presentation of what we can do. We know exactly how is the field level of the container, for example. Where is the best route for our collecting route? All of these activities is developed by information and communication technology, and we, of course, increase our efficiency in these services. This is in the urban services, but the other principal aspect for us for the urban services is the mobility. We believe that in the next future, more near than in the next 2-3 years, the electrical vehicle is obligated or is one of the principal conditions in the urban services. I show you, I have a pleasure to you, the first vehicle, electrical vehicles. One moment, I put a video. We can see this video.
Presents the first 100% electric heavy-duty lorry for selective waste collection. A vehicle that cares for people's health. That cares for the environment. That helps make the city friendlier. And respects residents' sleep. Cutting-edge technology to answer to the needs of the city. The best waste collection vehicle for cities that are one step ahead.
This vehicle is working in the 1st of November here in Barcelona, and I present all of you, if you want to visit, is in this expo. In our stand you can see and you can ask any question about this vehicle. This is another important life. But We have another important business area in the company, the waste treatment, because if you only think in collecting system, you don't resolve the problems. Waste treatment, of course, we have two different lines, municipal waste and industrial waste. This is the trademark of a company. And we are fortunate in the waste management in municipal waste because we have clear what is our target for the next future. In European Union have a decision that establish a new rate of recuperation of what target for us for 2030. And this target is these three ones. This is most important. And one is that we to obtain 25% of municipal waste to be prepared for reusing or repairing. According with data, European data of 2015, we add from 35%. We another target is 75% of packaging waste to prepare for reuse and recycling. The same, according with European data of 2013, we have add from 65. And the last and no less important is that landfilling no more than 5–10%, we discussed this percentage, of municipal waste, down from 45% is immediate data of the European member states. Okay, if we want to reach this ambitious target, we need to collaborate together, public and private sector. And now I put two examples that companies like that we are making and we are working and investigating for increase the rate of recovering or reducing the rate for landfill. One example is here of glass recovery. This is one of our sites, is in the north of Spain, in Santander, and we invest with the new technologies, optical equipment for equipment glass recovery. With this investment, and we design the model of the process, we can increase the rate of waste recovery material around 2–3 points each year. In this case, we recover around 6,000 tons per year, only with one equipment that we introduce in our process. For us, this is important because it's more efficient for us. We reduce the rate for landfill, and of course, we can give a second life for this kind of waste, in this case, glass. And another more research project, the name is Plastic to Oil, and we are working during the last 2–3 years to obtain a new second life for the low-density plastic, film plastic, because at the moment there is no good condition to sell in the market, and normally we need to send to landfill. We work hard in pre-treatment of this process to clean this kind of plastic with cuts. Then we obtain a piece, a little piece of plastic, and we introduce in one pilot plant. This plant is in Zaragoza, and this is a demonstration plant to transfer this kind of plastic in this case, is not recycling, is for obtain a green oil. The name is one product that we can introduce in our vehicles of motor engines. With this, of course, we try to reduce the rate of landfill waste go to landfill, and give another value for this kind of waste. But finish my presentation, I have reflected about two things that we can discuss later. One is it smart to invest in waste treatment or in waste collections? In our opinion and our experiences, both things are very important because there are many, not only political, many citizens that consider that it work in collect waste or treatment, one of part of these areas is enough. And we are, we think, or we believe that we need work in the same areas at the same time and both. And the second question, is there any adequate legal framework available for circular economy target? In Europe, we have cleared the target, but what is the best measure to obtain this target? This is that we need to discuss all of us. Some things is very important is that we change in Europe the legal framework for two things. One is to open market for the second raw materials. This is very important because it's very complicated now to put in a market this kind of products. And the second, we need to introduce a new taxes law for landfill. If we don't increase these taxes, it's very difficult that we obtain this detergent. And with this, I finish my presentation.
Muchísimas
Thank you, and
gracias.
have my pleasure.
Thank you, Eduardo. Thank you for the excellent presentation. With the rush of the introduction, I forgot to say, actually, Eduardo has 25 years of experience in waste management, and he's responsible for the research direction in Urbaser. And thank you for the final conclusions that we can go back in a minute. But let's go to Elena now. And I'd like to introduce Elena in a minute. She has started her career as an international innovation consultant in Europe and South America as well. She was involved in recycling and waste valorization projects, and currently she is a project manager at Foretica. And she's working for Responsible Business Action, like CSR projects, right? Through several actions related to environmental sustainability. And another doctor in our panel after Eduardo, Elena has a PhD in environmental sciences. I would like to ask Elena, as a business membership organization, what kind of tools are you offering to your members to accompany them on the journey for the transition? And how do you make the business case for them, which might be a difficult one, perhaps, for business, though we do the case from the environmental side pretty fast.
Bueno, buenos días a todos. Es un placer estar aquí, formando parte de este panel con expertos y con toda esta audiencia. Bueno, pues gracias por la presentación. Yo trabajo en Foretica. Foretica es la asociación empresarial en España de referencia en temas de sostenibilidad. Nuestra misión es acompañar al sector privado en la incorporación de aspectos sociales, ambientales y de buen gobierno. Yo trabajo en la parte ambiental, donde nos hemos centrado en cambio climático y economía circular como los principales aspectos de la sostenibilidad que importan a las empresas. En este contexto, hemos empezado trabajando en materia climática, ¿no? Que parece ser la primera urgencia en temas de medio ambiente. En septiembre de 2015 se lanzó el clúster de cambio climático, en el que están presentes 51 grandes empresas españolas y empresas internacionales que operan en el país y que tienen un compromiso en materia climática, que tienen una estrategia en cambio climático. Y estas mismas empresas y nuestros socios nos demandaron nos demandaron ayuda en avanzar hacia la integración de la economía circular en sus estrategias. Por eso, en septiembre lanzamos el Grupo de Acción de Economía Circular, en el que contamos con 9 empresas de sectores muy distintos, como podéis ver, que han visto la oportunidad y el business case de la economía circular en sus distintos sectores. Ya se han escuchado, ¿no? Muchos números que monetizan y cuantifican cuál es el business case para el sector empresarial para avanzar hacia una transición, para avanzar sí, en la transición a este nuevo modelo de producción y consumo, que es la economía circular. Y bueno, pues la Comisión Europea dijo que a 2030 las empresas podrían ahorrar costes que suponen hasta 600.000 millones de euros anuales. También se cuantificó como la oportunidad de los 4,5 trillones de dólares. O sea que la oportunidad está ahí, las empresas lo saben y la movilización no ha hecho más que empezar. ¿Cuáles son los objetivos y qué queremos conseguir? ¿Cuáles son las herramientas, ¿no?, que comentábamos y el acompañamiento que damos a las empresas para avanzar hacia un modelo de economía circular? Bueno, inicialmente la generación de conocimiento. Queremos ayudarles a entender cuál es el business case para sus distintos sectores y acompañarles también de manera técnica y para identificar cuál es la hoja de ruta para avanzar en esta economía circular. Cuáles son los riesgos que supone la economía lineal para sus distintos sectores, cuáles son las oportunidades de una transición hacia un modelo de economía circular, cuáles son los modelos circulares disponibles y que hace y que pueden integrarse en las estrategias y que permiten que las empresas puedan avanzar hacia este nuevo modelo. Y luego el tema de las alianzas. Al final nosotros generamos este espacio para que se puedan dar las alianzas y somos el vínculo entre el sector privado y el sector público. Hemos participado en las jornadas de debate de la Estrategia Española de Economía Circular, que esperamos que a final de año o principios del año que viene pueda ser ya una realidad, en el que hemos puesto voz a la empresa privada y hemos pues, dialogado con el Ministerio de Medio Ambiente para ver cuáles son realmente los puntos más importantes que debería tener una estrategia de economía circular según el sector empresarial. Además, hemos participado en un grupo de trabajo de la Cámara de Comercio Española, en la que también se pretenden dar las pistas y las pautas para las empresas para avanzar hacia este nuevo modelo. Además, nosotros somos el partner español del World Business Council for Sustainable Development, que es una organización empresarial global que tiene la misma misión que nosotros, pero a nivel global. Esta organización funciona con partners, con national partners en todos los países, y nosotros somos los elegidos en España, que es muy interesante porque al final son los que marcan de alguna manera la guía de cómo las empresas deberían avanzar hacia un desarrollo más sostenible, siempre con la guía de los Objetivos de Desarrollo Sostenible como una visión holística de lo que debería ser el desarrollo sostenible. Y de hecho ellos también están trabajando en economía circular con su grupo empresarial llamado Factor 10, en el que pretenden también dar las pistas a las empresas internacionales más importantes sobre cómo avanzar, ¿no?, en este modelo que parece sencillo, que la justificación es evidente y clara, pero que integrarlo en las estrategias empresariales no es tan inmediato, ni rápido, ni evidente, ¿no? ¿Qué más hacemos? También trabajamos en América Latina. Tenemos un programa con el BID, que se llama, con el Banco Interamericano de Desarrollo, que se llama CSR InnoLabs, que pretende ser un laboratorio de sostenibilidad para acompañar también a las empresas que operan en América Latina. Y este año estuvimos en México también trabajando en temas de economía circular con empresas latinas. O sea que también es otra de nuestras grandes alianzas. Somos firmantes del Pacto por una Economía Circular, el compromiso de los agentes económicos y sociales, que es un pacto que lanzó el Ministerio de Agricultura y Medio Ambiente para 2018-2020, que compromete a todos los agentes económicos y sociales en España para avanzar hacia una economía circular. Y finalmente, bueno, hemos tenido la suerte de estar en los congresos, pues en Finlandia, en el congreso que tuvo el World Circular Economy Forum, que tuvo lugar en junio, que fue el primer congreso global que aunó a todo el mundo, ¿no?, a todos los países. Había como 110 países, 3.000 asistentes, y fue el primer punto de encuentro global sobre la economía circular. Además estaremos en Colombia, también en el CEFA, que es el encuentro de las Américas de Economía Circular, en el que también pretende ser el primer punto de encuentro en la región sobre temas de economía circular. Entonces, bueno, volviendo a realmente cuáles son nuestras herramientas y cuáles son las alianzas, pues herramientas, nos quedamos con 3 ideas: es conocimiento, apoyo técnico y seguimiento de todo lo que se está haciendo a nivel global. Y luego también incorporar la economía circular en una visión mucho más holística del desarrollo sostenible. Nunca se conseguirán los objetivos de desarrollo sostenible si no somos capaces de hacer un uso más eficiente de los recursos y cerrar el ciclo, ¿no?, de las materias primas que estamos utilizando. De hecho, mañana tendremos una sesión en este mismo congreso en el que nuestras empresas del clúster de cambio climático se reunirán y vamos a presentar un documento que se llama El cambio climático en las ciudades, la acción de las empresas, en las que obviamente la economía circular está presente por su vínculo claro con el cambio climático. Bueno, algunas de las acciones que tienen un impacto directo, acciones empresariales que tienen un impacto directo en la sostenibilidad climática de las ciudades, tienen que ver con la movilidad, con cómo hacer estas conexiones e infraestructuras más sostenibles. Las energías renovables, obviamente, no pueden faltar. La innovación y financiación para proyectos que tengan que ver con la sostenibilidad ambiental, tanto desde el punto de vista climático como desde el punto de vista de la economía circular. Y, sin duda, conseguir que los consumidores y los ciudadanos empiecen a tener estilos de vida mucho más sostenibles que permitan también que que generen una oferta y una demanda a las empresas para que éstas también integren modelos de negocio mucho más sostenibles. Pues creo que hasta aquí llegaría mi intervención. Muchas gracias. Y
Muchísimas gracias.
gracias.
Very much on time. Thank you. Thank you for sharing with us the power of alliances, that you are raising awareness and building slowly some partnerships. And well, I think to know more, they might come to the session. Now, without losing any time, I would like to call Jordi to the stand. Jordi has started his professional career as a researcher on eco-design and sustainability of built environment at the Institute of Environmental Science and Technology, ICTA in short. And in 2009, he's an entrepreneur himself. He co-founded the eco-innovation agency called Inedit. It's a spin-off of FUAB Research Park. He's also a doctor. He has a PhD in environmental sciences, and he has a lot of tools in his bag to accompany us in this transition. What are they, Jordi? Tell us.
Thank you very much, Burcu, and thank you for the invitation. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to Barcelona. I can assure that Barcelona is a sunny city, even though you're spending the morning in a dark room. I hope you can have some time to enjoy also this city. Well, I will explain you the eco-innovation journey. The eco-innovation journey is a methodology, is an approach that we have developed for working with companies, for being partners of companies in their way towards eco-innovation, towards circularity. To making it more friendly, I will explain the example of the case we did with SEAT, the car manufacturer. Many of you may have perceived that the automotive sector is shifting its value proposition, the business models are changing, and that car manufacturers, sometimes they look like, or they operate like other sectors, like energy companies, like utilities, or like multimedia companies, or logistics, data companies, or they are even offering us services that are financial or insurance services. No? Why is this happening? Why is this change taking place? So the automotive sector, like in many other sectors of the economy, is living a deep process of change. And there are many drivers for that. Some might be that there's a new generation of consumers that don't want or that don't have the priority to own a vehicle, but to make use of it. So they have a different approach to mobility. There's a production system deeply, heavily dependent on the use of scarce and expensive raw materials. So these companies in this sector, as I said, as in many others, need to rethink the way they operate. How do they make business? How do they align the interests of their business, of their new clients, and the planet as well? And eco-innovation is a good framework for doing so. After having worked with several companies with this approach, we have identified some patterns that eco-innovative companies share. One of these is the systemic vision. Eco-innovative companies see their value proposition like part of a wider ecosystem of products and services that serve the needs of their different stakeholders. They innovate with a future vision, so from the future. So they understand their current situation, but they are also able to understand where they want to be in the future, which are the desirable future scenarios, and to use innovation as a path towards this future scenario. They use design as a strategy, not as a makeup. Design as a tool for offering new products, new services that fulfill the needs of the clients, and with a user-centered approach, so that delivering the best possible experience to the clients. And so in last year, in 2016, we made that a joint team with SEAT, we Inedit and SEAT, to work to develop an action plan towards eco-innovation, taking into account all these concepts. And SEAT has also some internal challenges. So the Volkswagen Group is moving towards the offering of mobility services, car sharing, carpooling, autonomous driving. So are some concepts that are being developed and implemented. And also they have some internal and ambitious targets, such as reducing the environmental footprint of the company by 50% in 2025. So mixing all these external concepts and internal challenges, we implemented the Eco-Innovation Journey, which consists in 4 steps, each of them containing a multidisciplinary, multi-departmental workshop. The first step of this methodology, which I won't go into in detail, but the first step is knowing oneself. So which is the current strategy of the company, which are the business models that they use, which are the processes, the activities that support those business models. We did the map of the processes, and we started thinking on the user experience map. So which were the needs that are being fulfilled by the current business model and which are not. Once knowing our starting point, we started thinking the next step on what's out there. So which are the forces of change that will influence the company? Which are the current competitors and future competitors? Will the future competitors be other car manufacturers, or maybe Google, Apple will step into the sector and offering mobility services? How can a traditional car manufacturer compete with other actors in the scene? And after having defined several desirable future scenarios for the company, together with different departments, different people, different backgrounds, we started prototyping those future scenarios. So testing, doing fast prototyping, testing how would it look like, how would it work, which are the barriers, which are the opportunities, so, and putting it together in the same session with all the representatives of different departments. So aligning the vision of the different departments. I haven't said, but SEAT has 14,000 direct employees. So aligning the vision of 14,000 people is not easy, as you can imagine. The third step is the roadmap. So we know where we are. We know where we want to be in the future. So which are the steps? We are the actions. We are the activities that need to be implemented in order to achieve this vision in the future. And all these visions, all these actions were collected, were classified, depending on whether they interact with more operational level, product design, product or service design, or more strategic, so value proposition, business model, alliances. And they were prioritized. And finally, the last step, the later phase, is to wrap up and to translate all these ideas, all these activities, these actions, into an action plan. So we ended with an action plan, with a document with 30 projects that are vital, that are crucial for the company to make their future visioning true, to make it real. We collaborated with more than 25 people in the company, with 7 departments, and we say that this is the roadmap for resilience and competitiveness of SEAT. Okay, 20 seconds left. The first project of this roadmap is already being implemented. That is what we say the second life, where we are laying the foundations of a systematic process of reusing functional components of vehicles at their end of life. So can we recover functional components and reuse them to new cars or to new sectors or to other sectors for other products, urban furniture, for instance? And how can we develop alliances? How can we have to redesign our products, our services of the future? And that's it. SEAT has started working in this direction. They are not alone in this road. There are many other companies thinking or seeing that if they want to be competitive in the future, if they want to continue doing business in the future, they have to align their interests with the interests of the consumers, with the interest of the planet. And that eco-innovation is one framework, one more framework to do so. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Jordi. Eco-design, eco-innovation is certainly a good leverage for us. And it's not only for big car companies, also BMW or other German companies are looking into these kind of business models, but also for small entrepreneurs, for startups. And we collaborate with Jordi's team on that for using this methodology to create new startups, circular economy startups. So I think it's serving different sizes of companies. But how about regions? I think we should also hear from Eduard about their experience from Berguedà, one region in Catalonia, one county. And let me introduce Eduard. He's actually the managing director of ADR-CAT Central, which is the Association for Rural Development of Central Catalonia. He has 20 years of experience in application of rural development policies, specifically in the areas of business, labor market, tourism, and trade. So we are listening to your experience, how you're applying these concepts at the regional level. Thank you.
I'm sorry. Good morning, bon dia. I'm Edward. I'm from. I will explain that our project is based in a rural area. So our main mantra is try to promote the circular economy, not in the big cities. Our aim is try to promote the economy, the circular economy at one rural area called Berguedà, and I will explain. My mantra and our team mantra is based on that we should think global and act locally. So for sure it is possible to apply. So it's a pilot project that I will introduce. My presentation will have my vision about smart and sustainable development. Later I will explain the project, and finally the next steps of it. Okay. So from my point of view, we are based to think and to execute some politics like FEDER, but they often could create cathedrals on the desert. I mean, the bottom-up process, it doesn't work. It has to be implemented in its top-down strategy. So our aim is that on the rural areas should be on the agenda of the circular economy and in the agenda of the different project of IoT, of different things that the big cities. So we think that Catalonia and Europe are in danger of live again to be the part of this intelligent agenda. So when we talk about our local action, our region, you should see that we have an ecosystem. It's a different ecosystem from the big cities, but we talk about ecosystems. Okay, so we talk about competitiveness. We talk about a smart rural development. We should talk about these themes. So our experience is based at the rural area. You see on the left the map of Catalonia, where there are different printed regions. You see our region is Catalunya Central, is the nicest region of Catalonia, of course. So I invite you to come and to see. And we have some rural development program called LEADER. This program is around Europe and is based on to promote the investment, the invest of the enterprise. So we by grants, we have grants. We give grants to enterprise to invest in equipment, to invest in promote new scenarios, okay, to promote the enterprise. So what we thought is that this grant should should internalize more added value. How? We talk about economical circular economy. Okay, so we thought that it was necessary to boost a green and economy and circular strategy. So we should that it should be good not only to reduce the cost of the enterprise. It should be the best scale. When we talk about circular economy, the rural areas are the best labs in order to implement this strategy. So we try it and we start with this project. But if we talk about circular economy, we have learned about a very nice and powerful casuistics from my colleagues on the panel. But at the rural area, if I ask to you how to implement the circular economy, 2 years ago, we were the first guys in Catalonia, the first local action group, the first that we started at the rural area. So how to apply? Well, we have excellent professionals at the Catalan administrations. So we went to the Generalitat de Catalunya and we asked them how to apply. We learned about the foundation of course, Ellen MacArthur Foundation. We tried to connect with them and said, you are rural area, where you are not it's not possible to collaborate. Anyway, we start the project. Our project has different axes, different actions. First, we have take all the companies that has some grants or some implication with our organization, and we have talk about the circular economy. We have done coaching. We have promoted eco-design. We have done a lot of focus group companies. We have worked with a little group of companies, and they are very, very good results. When we talk about the toolkit, everyone in the room, I'm sure about that they will think about the magnificent tool of Ellen MacArthur Foundation. But at the rural area, there is no methodology. There wasn't any methodology. So we started with some colleagues to create a toolkit specifically from the rural areas to work with companies at the rural areas. Think that in our region are 75,000 inhabitants. So you should take care about our enterprise dimensions. So we create a toolkit. So we have started with this toolkit that is unique. It doesn't exist another toolkit as our toolkit. And of course, we have worked with other lines. We have worked with green territory. It doesn't mean we are trying to promote a green cluster. We have promote landscape marks, but we have also to promote eco-entrepreneurship. Of course, in the rural areas are the best place in the territory how to promote, to implement eco-entrepreneurship initiatives. And later, we have also promote this unique, I mean, in Catalonia. I don't know right now, but some project in industrial symbiosis project at the rural area. Why not in the rural area we should apply industrial symbiosis? It's a different scale from the big cities, but we are working right now with a project about industrial symbiosis. So, next steps of our project. First of all, fundraising. It's obvious that this project should have more fundraising, public and private fundraising. So we are managing right now some potential PPP in order to promote more investment, to align the circular economy not in the big cities, I mean in the rural development programs, to increase our portfolio. It doesn't mean that to give more bushels, to take more tech partners, and of course improve our toolkit. And later on, our aim is try to promote this project to the different rural areas in Catalonia, in Spain, in Europe, because if our aim is, as I said on the beginning, if the rural areas are the best place, one of the best place or a good place in order to implement circular economy, and should be on the agenda of this topic. And this is what we are working at, and it is what we are working with the collaborative way with the administration, with the private enterprise, and why not, as I said, we will share all these results to everybody in order to improve this at the rural areas. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Eduard, for sharing with us the leader region. I think I'm slowly learning how to pronounce Bergada. Bergada. And we will definitely visit. Actually, I would like to invite you to our project. I'm very impressed with the toolkit you just mentioned. The SwitchMed program, which is working with North African rural areas for eco-entrepreneurship. I think we are already a fan of yours through this presentation. Thank you so much. And now we are going to hear a little bit from the future from Oleg. Oleg is going to talk about the blockchain and Internet of Things approach, as I just mentioned. I was looking into some material also about blockchain, and I read that HBR, Harvard Business Review, was mentioning blockchain as a big disruptor to create new foundations for an economic and social systems. This is actually what we want with the circular economy. So how can they get married and then we have a better future? Please tell us, but let me introduce Oleg to you. Oleg Sado, actually coming from St. Petersburg, Russia, ITMO University. His main areas of research and development are free and open space software, software-defined networks, IoT, cloud platforms, and quantum computing as well. He has participated, of course, in many scientific and commercial projects, so looking forward to hear your project now.
Okay. Actually, it's my first presentation in this event. I'm a technical guy from Research and Development, University World, and my presentation may look slightly out of steps in comparison to another presentations, but don't be afraid. I will try don't include many technical details in my speech, and I think it would be a good reason to discuss them in silence. Okay. Many letters and short words about it. Our story began 1 year ago when we participated in a large European project, Biotop, about implementing of some infrastructure solutions for smart cities related to implementing of Internet of Things technology in smart cities. It's a large project with many participators, like universities, like large companies, for example, BMW, and 4 pilot regions in different European countries. One of these countries is Russia. Unfortunately, Russia is not European Union member now, but we collaborate with this project. Economically, some project from our Ministry of Science and Education. our part of this project related to smart waste management. Actually, we must implement some complete system, including a lot of hardware, including a lot of software. Actually, a lot of information about general situation, about waste management, about current situation in Russia and in St. Petersburg. In Russia and in St. Petersburg, the current situation with the waste management is not ideal. And we trying to fix this problem. In the current state of development, we making some development work about creating of some software and hardware tools, mostly for modeling of smart waste management process. We must make a proof of concept. Okay. In our project, we try to make some platform for communication, for coordination of work of different players of this game. It's citizens, it's municipality, it's waste management operators, and of course it's recyclers. So, just a brief look to complete prototype of this system. We can see some service domain with waste management operators, with smart garbage bins, with a lot of services connected to the messengers, and finally we can see a small box in right down corner in which we can see a smart contracts in a blockchain. Many words again. In a short words. So, just what is it blockchain and why we trying to use them in our project? Actually, the most well-known implementation of blockchain technology is a cryptocurrency. For example, bitcoins. Generally, blockchain is a general ledger in which we may place some records corresponding to some things. For example, it's maybe some transaction, financial transaction, for so-called cryptocurrency. You may have one account and another account, and move some amount of cryptocurrencies from one amount to another. The very important thing, these records can't be changed after including to this general ledger. More than, its records may be very different. For example, it's maybe so-called smart contracts. It's in some projects. Actually, it's real programs which includes only the business logic without the side effects, which may implement a very different business logic behavior. So, and this some hypothetical large picture which may be implemented for harmonization of current waste management operations. Of course, we not implement a full picture, only a lot of details. But I think some discussion with the practitioners in governance, in business, may help to us for selecting of correct directions of our research. So, the main advantage of current blockchain, smart contracts, and cryptocurrency technologies is a possibility of using of some lingua franca for business logic solutions in different parts of our infrastructure. For example, we may place so-called smart contracts inside devices, inside Internet of Things, and this Internet of Things may directly communicate with the services, with the citizens, with a very low cost for transaction. And we may create our own instruments. Actually, we may create our own cryptocurrencies for different goals. For example, for investing, to creating and buying of smart garbage bins with a different functionality which bought by municipality or a condominium, and after that, for example, our smart garbage bin may calculate weight of your concrete waste portion, and after that get some cryptocurrency for paying of that, and after the delivering to recycler, if you place a correct portion of waste in your bag, recycler may return a lot of cryptocurrency money to you, and or, for example, make some penalty if you place a wrong sort of waste in your bag. Actually, by this simple machinery, we may make some structure with a smaller waste amount with a high quality for recycling of this this process. So, and actually, very many actors of real waste management game may be included to this full picture, like in this slide.
Thank
Okay.
you, Oleg. Thank you very much for sharing with us use of blockchains and cryptocurrency. So it's obviously another leverage for us to get even more efficient. We might like to ask Eduardo or Jose whether these kind of technologies can be applied very soon, or how do we like to take them up. But your garbage bin might get more smarter than yourself very soon. And we have a lot of examples, I think, here. But it's not really some future story. We already have a lot of research going on. Even Ellen MacArthur Foundation has a publication about the use of blockchain technology. So it's important to follow up what's happening. Thank you for your presentation, for sharing with us. thank you also to you all for listening. What we can do, I think now in a couple of minutes that we have left, if you have any burning questions, you can raise your hand. And yes, please, I think there's one in the very front. Could we have a microphone here? Please introduce yourself and a short question. The question's here. Maybe you can stand up.
Yes, I'm David Franquesa from Electronic Reuse. It's for OLAC.
Could you hold it a
Yeah.
little bit? Yes.
It's for OLAC.
For Oleg.
OLAC. I think the traceability it's a key for circular economy. My question is how you can ensure that reuse is done before recycle. I think it's also a challenge for us. Ensure reuse is always done before recycling. It's the 3 R's. In your platform, are you assessing or you measure the value of the objects are there, and you can decide when it takes sense to just go to another user and use it again for some years, or it takes sense to go to recycling because the raw materials are upper than the value it has. It's the difference between the value of the asset and the raw materials it contains.
Very shortly, how do you factor in reuse strategy in your scheme? Right?
So actually, my tale provokes that question. It depends, because because we may create a different configuration, for example, of smart garbage bins. Yes, in which we may include different sensors. Which may measure weight of waste, and we may have some RFID card sensor, or we may have some optical recognition system for reading of QR codes, and as a consequence, we may create some systems which may make more or less exact controlling of process. In some cases, it's not need. For example, when we place of our smart garbage bin in some park. Yes, and we need only the measure of level of waste. And another thing, we must control most of parameters.
So it can be added to the system setup, you're saying. Thank you. I'm seeing that we are already about 6 minutes of our given extra time. But if you like to join the discussion, or if you want to share more tools, maybe we can take one more question or comment. Otherwise, I would like to turn our panel and just ask for one project idea based on your experience from the rural side. Oh, I'm not seeing.
I have a question.
Oh, okay, fine.
My name is Stefan Papst.
Can you introduce yourself?
Yes.
Thank you.
My name is Stefan Papst. I'm from Austria, from the Fachhochschule Joanneum in Graz. And I'm working on food and agriculture sciences. So my question is if anybody of you or somebody in the auditorium knows good solutions, like, for example, organic waste is a huge problem because there's so much tonnage, and would be a good resource as a fertilizer, but in many cases to separate it is a huge issue, because customers don't really know what is organic waste and what can be done with it. And is there any solution for this eternal problem?
Eduardo or Eduard, who would like to?
Ok, te voy a responder en castellano. I prefer speaking Spanish.
That's fine, I think. Needs to...
Ok, hay bastantes soluciones para el residuo de materia orgánica. El problema siempre es el mismo, es el coste. Es decir, nosotros tenemos soluciones desde el composting, compostaje a nivel local, que se hace más en las zonas rurales y lo tienen que emplear ellos mismos porque no hay mercado. Luego con la materia orgánica que procede de los residuos, que es el 50% de lo que echamos cada uno en los contenedores, también lo estamos recuperando en dos formas, como biogás, por una parte, y ahora lo que estamos es obteniendo productos intermedios obtenemos productos intermedios que sirvan de materias primas secundarias para otros procesos. El problema en este momento es lo que decía en mi presentación. No hay reglas claras de mercado para incentivar que bien la entidad pública o el ente privado pueda poner en mercado esos productos. Yo creo que ahora mismo ese es el problema. Es decir, ajustar. Tecnológicamente hay solución, ¿vale? Pero económicamente es lo que tenemos que demostrar en los próximos años, en la materia orgánica.
Muchas gracias. Thank you very much for all your inputs. I'm sorry that there is not much of time to discuss, but I invite you here and also in the breaks to discuss with our leaders, the change makers, the action takers for the circular economy. Thank you very much. Thank you.